We call the Young Turks home of progressives because we fight for you guys. Come help build that home. Support independent media by becoming a TYT member. Just click the link in the description box below.
Much of what people in America think about undocumented immigrants is completely untrue through the media not doing their job and most people not really caring to know if what they believe about this group is actually accurate. And in this video, I want to debunk one particularly insidious myth about undocumented immigrants that has given rise to the belief that they are an economic drain on this country. And that is that they don't pay taxes. And you will hear this all the time on the media and certainly from politicians. It is a very popular talking point from Republicans, especially. And in fact, in a 2017 Gallup poll, they asked survey respondents whether immigrants to the United States are making the tax situation in the country better or worse. 41% polled said worse, only 23% said better, and 33% said no effect. So it is a very minority position to believe that in any way they could actually be having a positive impact on the country. Now, I would ask you, what percentage of the people who answered that poll actually know anything of what they're talking about there? Probably kind of low, so we're gonna provide some actual numbers. Did you know, by the way, that research by the Institute of Taxation and Economic Policy suggests that about half of undocumented workers in the United States file income tax returns? I would not have even said yesterday that it was that high. And they do the returns, and did you know what you do on returns? You pay taxes, and it turns out they pay taxes. They pay a lot of taxes, actually. Back in 2013, I believe, they paid $23.6 billion in income taxes specifically. The Institution on Taxation and Economic Policy estimates that they paid about $11.7 billion a year in state and local taxes as well. The IRS estimates that unauthorized workers pay about $9 billion in payroll taxes annually. In 2013, the Social Security Administration said undocumented workers contributed $13 billion specifically in that year alone to the Social Security Trust Fund. And so groups of billions of dollars left, right, and center, and that's just the stuff that you pay through your actual tax returns. That's not sales tax and a bunch of other things as well. So huge numbers, many billions of dollars every single year, but nobody thinks that, nobody believes that.
You know, I'm so glad we got to extend into this segment because you know who isn't paying $23.6 billion worth of income taxes per year? Amazon, GE, and a number of other major corporations who not only don't pay taxes, they actually receive multi-billion-dollar rebates, and they've just gotten a $1.5 trillion tax cut. So that's just an aside of who isn't paying taxes. But yes, there is a sense for these undocumented immigrants that are paying these taxes that there is an accountability. We keep on kind of going. We keep going back to that word throughout this hour. There's an accountability towards a path towards citizenship, however that might look, and however that might contribute to this country in which they are, to pay their taxes, to have a record, to actually potentially show their taxes so that we all can have this aggregate record. And I do think that is deeply missed in this argument about immigrants as somehow being a drain on the system as opposed to not only contributing to the economy in multiple ways, but also paying taxes.
Contributing to everyone's well-being without getting any of it back. Those entitlements that there's no way they can go and get their return on, just doesn't happen. Obviously, you have to show that you have your citizenship worth getting these things back. So it's a contribution without taxation, without representation, straight up. So it doesn't help to, we talked again off air about how people get dehumanized. So in order for, and as you said, John, we wouldn't have known this. I didn't say it. Maybe Nomi, I feel like you know way more than all of us. Wouldn't have known these details about the amount that gets paid by undocumented immigrants, right? So even people who have support for them don't know the full nature of the contributions that they give. We'll be like, wow, really that much? Because we're told this so many times. When it gets beat in your head, it's how propaganda works. It's beating your head so many times, you're like, well, it's okay that they're not contributing that much. This is what they are doing. We forget how much they truly are contributing. So even folks that can see the benefit of folks coming here, we still don't even see the full benefit because we're buying into it to a certain percentage. We missed the point too. That's how badly we've been beat over the head with so many lies. So if you keep people on this lower level of humanity, you can do whatever you want to them. You can separate their families at the border and say, well, you know what, they deserve to be separated. They came here to drain us. They came here to take our jobs. No, they're not doing anything but bringing over MS-13 and terrorism to kill us. all these things get said so many times that the reality is so far from that if you actually say the reality, you'll go, no way it's that. That's crazy. When actually the crazy stuff is what we're taking in as normal.
Yeah, imagine paying, you alluded to this, imagine paying in year after year, decade after decade to Social Security that you can't collect, Medicare that you can't collect, helping to support those programs that, thanks to the way money is spent in DC, desperately need the help. And they do that, And I wonder if people knew, and if you could get people to actually accept that two myths are not accurate, that they're a drain on the economy and that they commit crimes at higher rates than regular Americans, when in fact they do pay taxes and they commit crimes at much lower rates than native-born Americans. Like how much that could change our view of this community if people would actually accept those facts. You can check the numbers yourself. And some of these, like this sounds good, that half pay taxes. We could help that. We could get that number up. But you know how you do that? You don't create an atmosphere where these people are terrified that if they ever put their name down on any piece of paper, they're gonna be tracked down and thrown out of the country. What percentage of those half that aren't paying taxes would if we made them feel even slightly secure in the position that they're in this country? So there's another area where demonizing this community, telling lies about them, threatening them, and deporting them actually harms the economic well-being of our country.
Like what you see? Click the subscribe button below and don't forget to ring the bell to never miss another video from the Young Turks.